Hello friends, this is Robert West. Welcome to the show. In this video, we're going to talk about the former FBI Director James Comey, who was not too long ago today just indicted for two federal crimes. But before we start, I just want to thank all the new viewers and subscribers to my YouTube channel. Really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It's free of charge. Also, feel free to comment, like, share. Now let's get into this topic. So let's do a little background on James Comey, former FBI director who was selected prior to Donald Trump becoming president the first time. And this guy, first of all, just any disclosure here, I don't like the guy personally, based on his actions during that presidential election between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Because, and this is the background, he violated the Justice Department's policies about getting political with either candidate when it was very close to the election. And many people think, and it's not just me, that one of the reasons Hillary Clinton lost, other than, she wasn't the best candidate in the world at the time, but was that this guy put his hands on the scale of justice and made it seem like she was being investigated while Trump was clean as a whistle, which we learned after the election wasn't true. Trump was being investigated as well. Okay. So, a little more history. Trump and Comey did not get along because Comey would not be loyal to Trump above the job, above the Constitution. So what did Trump do? Trump fired Comey. Okay. And then the assistant director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, took over. McCabe is now an analyst on CNN, who you can see periodically on there. He's not on every night, but he's on periodically on several different topics, law enforcement topics, etc. Okay. So what is this all about? Well, this charge stems from a 2020 Senate hearing where Comey indicated under oath that he did not authorize a leak of the Russian probe back during his time as FBI director. Now, this conflicts, or somewhat conflicts, based on what McCabe said under oath. And it's something similar, but not exactly, saying that Comey knew about it. So they've assumed that because he knew about it, he also authorized it, which, I mean, it's kind of a very sketchy indictment. Okay. The reason why they're rushing is because a week from now, or less than a week from now, the statute of limitations run, and they can no longer prosecute Comey. Now, Trump has told his attorney general, his FBI director, why isn't Comey being Comey? Letitia James, the attorney general of the state of New York, and Senator Adam Schiff, why aren't they being prosecuted? Fast forward to today. Well, let's fast forward back about another week. So the career prosecutor, who is the acting U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, where this case was brought, was either going to be fired or pressured to resign since he didn't believe there was enough evidence to indict Comey. He resigns. Trump brings in a personal lawyer who has no prosecutorial experience, and this lawyer brings the case to a grand jury, and the grand jury indicts Comey based on 2 charges, making a false statement and obstruction of justice. So that's where we're at today. Now, is the evidence strong against Comey? It don't look very strong at all. It looks like the president put his thumb on this, and probably one of the first things Comey's lawyer is going to do is file a motion to dismiss based on selective prosecution, vindictive prosecution. The evidence is out there. That would be a great motion to file. Now, is it going to cause Comey some of a hassle? Sure, it's going to cost him a lot of money to hire a lawyer. His case is high profile. I mean, I would not be surprised if he spent $100,000 plus in his defense. But that's where we're at tonight, is he's been indicted. So not super hard to get somebody indicted, but again, the grand jury proceedings are secret, so we don't know what evidence was presented to the grand jury. We probably do know that Andrew McCabe, the former assistant and acting FBI director, will probably be dragged into this case just because it was his statement that supposedly contradicted. But way I heard the statement versus Comey's response, they don't look like they're a contradiction. They actually look like there's similarities, but it's probably not a strong case to get a conviction. And the Justice Department has rules, believe it or not, although with Donald Trump in charge, they don't seem to have any rules, or they don't seem to be following any rules. But if they don't believe that they can get a conviction, then they shouldn't bring the case. This new lawyer, who's the acting U.S. attorney for that district, she's only been there a few days. She came in on Monday, so she hasn't probably done anything, no independent investigation or anything. So just went with whatever was there. And like I said, we don't know what she presented to the grand jury, but obviously it was enough to get an indictment on these 2 counts, these 2 felony counts. They can, if convicted, you can get up to 5 years in prison. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Comey, but I don't think they have a case here. Not a great FBI director. Didn't follow the rules himself when that election was going on. And just to let you know, for disclosure, Comey at the time was a registered Republican. I don't know what he is now, but he was a registered Republican. And I believe McCabe was a registered Republican as well, but they've been critics of the Trump administration for several years now. So we'll see what happens. But just to reiterate, James Comey, former FBI director, former federal prosecutor, has been indicted. Remember last week we did a video about his daughter, Maureen Comey, who was fired by Trump. That firing is connected to Trump's hatred of Comey for sure. I don't think there's any doubt that's why he fired her. So, okay, friends, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, please do so. Feel free to comment, like, share. Thanks again. Have a good evening, and we will see you in the next video.